stop him now.
He doesn't own the party.
Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. I hope you had a great weekend. It certainly was a busy weekend in Ondo State and for all the stakeholders in that particular election that has now been decided by INEC. And we have the incumbent governor, Aiyedatiwa, who has won that election. INEC has declared it for him. 366,781 votes, followed by the PDP candidate, Honorable Ajayi, 117,845. And the third is Labour Party with 1,162 votes. So that's the way it stands. Let me just tell you our guests this morning. In studio here with me is Dr. Ibrahim Oshinawa, political affairs analyst. A fine morning to you, Dr. Oshinawa.
Nice to meet you, sir, again.
Thank you very much. And reaching us remotely from Akure is Mr. Belele David Tamaro Kuro. He's the Director General Coalition of Progressive Ambassadors, COPA. A fine morning to you, Mr. Tamaro Kuro.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Now, both of you, both of you are guests this morning, Dr. Oshinawa in studio and Mr. Tamaro Kuro. I don't know, first of all, a very, very quick one. We're in studio here, Dr. Oshinawa, were you observing remotely or were you actually in Accra?
I was actually observing remotely.
Okay.
I have few guys on ground.
Okay.
Monitor how the election, from Friday to election morning, distribution of materials,
okay.
the issue like that. So I was monitoring remotely.
And a lot of people were also doing the same, thanks to TVC.
Yes.
Because we did give it a blanket coverage. And Mr. Tamaro Okuro, were you monitoring directly or were you also monitoring remotely?
Actually, the Coalition of Progressive Ambassadors is a political group that is supporting His Excellency, Honorable Aiyedatiwa, who were not just monitoring, we're part of the
whole process.
That went through all the 18 local governments to campaign for him, the bid for him to retain the seat of office in Alabata government house.
Great. Okay. Now, just before we launch into the conversation, and we'll also be taking calls, we'll be taking impressions. Here's a quick recap as put out by our reporters of the event.
Residents of Ondo State and 17 governorship candidates waited for almost 24 hours to know who stays in the Alagbaka house. Minutes before 1 p.m., the returning officer alongside other personnel in the off-cycle election committee arrives the State Collation Center to announce the remaining 3 local governments.
That Aiyedatiwa Lucky Orimisan of APC, having satisfied the requirement of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
The All Progressives Congress and its candidate, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, secured a decisive victory, sweeping all 18 local governments with a significant margin against the People's Democratic Party's Ajayi Agbola. Amidst this celebration, concerns have been raised about isolated incidents of vote buying at some polling units.
The process of the election must be gotten right, and we are doing our own bit to ensure that INEC is transparent as possible. And from what we've seen in this election, I can score them over 90%.
What we expected is different from this. If the election is free and fair and there's no inducement of the electorate, fine. Come again in the next 4 years. APC won't have anything to show in Ondo State.
They've been defeated handsomely. If you're defeated 18-0, you look for straws to hold. They have to go back home to explain to their supporters why they failed woefully. And that's why they're saying this. So we must accept that they have a right to give excuses for failure and that they're allowed to weep now that they've lost. We need to give them days to absorb their loss and their failure.
People of this state have spoken loud enough with 366,000 votes. Nobody has ever recorded such huge amount of votes since the creation of this state.
The election and declaration of Lucky Aiyedatiwa as governor of Ondo State signals the end of another election cycle in Ondo State. All eyes are now on the governor who can't be re-elected in 2028. They're waiting to see what his administration would look like in the next 4 years. They're hoping to also see him close ranks with his opposition to develop Ondo State. Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Akure.
Okay then, and our thanks to Sarah Ayeku reporting out of Akure. So it's all said and done. And oh, by the way, before we continue, I don't know how you're going to be hearing it, just in case you are managing to hear us and see us and watch us. Because there's a live going on our terrestrial feed, I think by now our viewers know that you can always pick us up on our YouTube channel. And this doesn't concern viewers in the diaspora because the diaspora always sees us. We go out globally, but when there's a local live matter, that doesn't need to go out globally. So here we are. Okay, let me take potluck and start from Mr. Belele Tamaro Kuro, who is in Akure at the moment. How did the election go according to your observation? We've just been hearing that there was, the drive to make sure that it was free and fair. Give me your assessment of the election, the conduct of the election, in brief, because we have something like half an hour or so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abo, my uncle.
Yori Folari.
Yes, Yori Folari. Actually, the advent of this election that brought in His Excellency Lucky Orumisa Aiyedatiwa re-elected into office came in through the process when he was an embattled governor and deputy governor of the state, not knowing that those people that were struggling to remove him from office never knew they were trying to help him to gain the popularity for this day to come and all of that. So the process of the primary election that made him the governor, people believe that he was not popular in the state. He can never be given the leadership mantle to lead affairs of the state. He went around through all the 18 local governments to campaign as if he's not popular. He won that primary election on a landslide victory. The same thing happened in the general election. He went around all the 18 local government areas to campaign, not just going through all the 18 local government areas. He took his campaign to every nook and cranny, places that governorship candidate politicians have not visited. He went there to avail himself to them in numbers and all of that. He brought the message of promising them that his government is going to bring inclusivity, ensuring that the lives and property of the people will be secured. And we witnessed this on the day of election where he won all the 18 local government areas. The victory belonged to the people of Ondo State because it has never happened in the history of Ondo State, and they must be commended for that.
All right.
The victory.
Okay, thank you for that initial salvo. Dr. Ibrahim Oshinawa,
yes, sir.
When you look at it, he spoke about he indicated the numbers there. 366,000 votes to PDP's Honorable Ajayi's 117,000, and then Labour a distant third with 1,116. What is your read of the outcome of this election? Bearing in mind that we were told that there were, somewhere in the region of a little over 2 million registered voters. And it was being projected at the time that those that actually picked up their cards, their voting cards were, below 1 million. I think it was 750,000 odd, right? Something like that.
Absolutely.
Yes. So in that light, where we see that, the leading candidate actually garnered 366, which is less than half of even the projected number of people. What's your read of the election and the attitude of the people to it?
First of all, I would like to congratulate Governor Aiyedatiwa on his re-election victory.
Okay.
According to INEC, he won at least all the local governments, 18 local governments of the state, which is absolutely outstanding. Let's go into the, I'll call it voters' apathy.
Okay.
Because, INEC needs to go beyond conducting an election. They need to go in partnership with National Orientation Agency and Ministry of Information, Federal Ministry for that matter, and other state agency of ministry to enlighten our people that you must exercise that civic right. After this election now, you will see good people of Ondo State coming out to complain about what a governor has done, what he has not done right. When you have the time to choose and elect your governor, you have to come out. According to statistics in Ondo State, most of the people believe that moving from Ibadan or moving from one place to another because of fuel and the rest of that, they could not move to their polling booth and the rest of it. But I was telling somebody that, look, you have ample time to change your location. If you are voting if your voting station is in Akure and you are living in Idori, you can move, you can transfer that police station to Idori for you to vote. This is a very outstanding exercise that will shape your life and your children in the next 4 years. So you must absolutely participate in what the election is all about. The governor, either we like it or not, is going to be there for 4 years. But I encourage Governor Aiyedatiwa, this mandate that is, presently, having in his pocket, he should make sure that it benefits the life and, and welfare of good people of Ondo State. Ondo State has a lot. A lot. I can remember when Governor Miracle was in charge of the governor, most people leave Ibadan, leave Akure, leave Edo to go and give birth in Ondo State to collect free. After giving birth, you will collect some change, you will collect phone, you will collect. They will monitor the progress of the baby for 6 months. They can also do that. So I expect our governor to do better when you are entrusted with this high number of votes. Despite the fact that the number of votes cumulatively is even below 2% of the vote PVC collected, we still need to appreciate what we're doing. Our democracy is still in progress, but the governor must ensure that he delivers the goods.
Indeed. Let me come back to you, Mr. Tamuro Kuro, on picking up on that particular point. That is that of voter apathy, considering the number of people that at the end of the day did come up. We were hoping against hope, but you saw that it was relatively low. But now we're gone beyond that, and it's going to be a matter of getting down to business and delivering. As has just been suggested by Dr. Shenawa here, the mandate is for all of the people of Ondo State. Are you optimistic that indeed the ruling party there is up to the task? We have the incumbent governor also being the what is that word that we use? He's the incumbent, but he is what was that political word we use?
Governor-elect.
Governor-elect.
Yes.
He's at one time the governor and
still a governor-elect.
The governor-elect.
The sitting governor and the governor-elect.
What do you think the people of Ondo are in for in terms of the returns on for this exercise?
Well, thank you very much. Let me react to what the man in the studio just said.
Dr. Shinawa.
Yeah, Dr. Shinawa, because I cannot see your face. All I'm seeing is only my face. That's the reason why I can't.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay.
So now, like we said, that we have moved past the voter apathy. Let's talk about the process that ushered in His Excellency Honorable Aiyedatiwa into office as governor of the state. If you recall that in 2020 election, the winning margin of the late governor to be declared governor of Ondo State was 292,000 votes plus. So now, in 2024, since the inception of the state, the Ondo State citizens came out in their numbers to elect Governor Aiyedatiwa into office with 366,000 votes plus. Now, if we talk about people not coming out to vote, you can see that the enthusiasm of people coming out to vote for His Excellency was high, irrespective of the fact that the turnout was very low. There was a room for everybody to come out to vote. The governor and the state and INEC did their best ensuring that people come out to vote on the day of the election. Regarding what we are expecting in Ondo State in this regime, I can assure you, within his 10 months in office, His Excellency has been able to bring farmers and ensuring that they get fertilizers. The road construction are going every part of the state, within Akure and everywhere. Even though the student section, the budget has not been paid over the years, the governor ensured he paid the student bursary, even though so padded and all of that. Even the retirees was able to pay all their gratuities, the previous government did not pay none of that. We are optimistic about his leadership, about this government, that it will do better and it will deliver dividends for democracy to the people of Ondo State.
Okay, one moment, sir. One moment, please. I beg your pardon. One moment, please. A viewer has just called in. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Uncle Yori, let me first congratulate Governor Aiyedatiwa for the resounding victory he got last Saturday. Obviously, he has been made popular by the tribulations he went through. Those who thought they were trying to punish him didn't know they were helping him. That is for that. Uncle Yori, this issue of apathy, I have a different view about it.
Okay.
INEC does not have a living register. The last time, that 2023 elections, where I voted in Lagos here, I saw, they display photographs of people that are registered for every polling booth. When I checked through the one in the place I voted, I saw photographs and names of 5 people that died about 9 years ago. Many have moved away from that place. The register is not a living one. So many people on the list it's not a current list. They don't have a way of fertilizing and updating the list from time to time. They need to revisit their system and make sure that it is a living register they have. Okay. This one, they say registered voters. Those figures are bloated. The enthusiasm that greeted 2023 election was such that most people that actually have the cards voted. But see the figures, it's not different from what we have seen even in the all-cycle election. That is where INEC needs to work on. Okay. I don't believe there is apathy the way it is being promoted. Okay. The governor, on the other hand, should see this as an opportunity to prove to the people that the confidence they have in him is justified by performance. I heard one of the speakers talking about health care. The one we used to refer to as Zero-Co governor. He set up a unique hospital in that state that people from other states were coming or are still coming now to take treatment. Let him upgrade that hospital to show that he is a fair man as the people are taking him. And let the hospital become a standard, remain a standard or even upgrade it for people to benefit from it more. After the election euphoria, most of the people that are elected, they get, sucked into the game of politics. And then they forget until it is 6 months or so to the next election. He should not do that because he's a unique man, because the circumstances under which he came to power is different from that of many other governors. He should also act uniquely and let us, we who supported him, be proud of him.
All right.
I wish him strength. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. George, for your, contribution there.
Can I still go?
Oh, okay. So interesting, Dr. Oshinawa.
Yes, sir.
You heard him there.
I'm not. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
Oh, yes, I did interrupt you. I beg your pardon. So, yes. Indeed, Dr. Oshinawa, I'll come back to studio.
No
because,
problem.
Yes, I did interrupt Mr. Tamaro Kuro. Go ahead, please, because he brought up a number of issues. But continue.
Okay.
He even brought up INEC's performance.
Okay. Like I said, governance is a serious business that requires competent and good leaders to pilot the affairs of the state. The governor coming into politics from a private business person driving the economy of the state means that on education is going to perform. On agriculture is going to. He knows what is before him. That's the reason why the people of Ondo State gave him the mandate to lead them for another 4 years. We cannot expect nothing than progress, and we believe in his leadership. He's going to deliver on the promises he made to electorate in Ondo State when he turned around all the 18 local governments and the states. No doubt about it. We believe in leadership ability, which is going to deliver without compromise.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you. So back to studio here with Dr. Oshinowo. That viewer brought up the matter of, in addition to all that he said, he did comment on INEC's performance. What are your thoughts in that regard?
It's for now. I believe INEC can do better. On Ondo State, a lot of reports are still coming in. The governor, I listened to him yesterday. He acknowledged that there are some few glitches, like they used to use glitches in some local governments where internet are a major issue. Some the PVC card are not recognized by the viewers. So many issues that and don't forget, 2027 is fast approaching. I believe that they have to key into the agenda of this government in terms of improving electoral value, in terms of technological involvement in the electoral system. Look at what my dear friend and brother Bumi Ojo is doing. He's digitalizing the entire ecosystem of Ministry of Interior. So these are the things that Professor Mahmoud should look into. This is not about party. This is a national discussion. They needs to look to. This is the only country we have. This is the only democracy we have. And every lovers of democracy in this country must protect this very republic. So we need to intensify our approach in the electoral system. Yeah. I believe this gentleman that is talking. Election is over.
Okay.
This is Monday morning.
That is
the governor. The correlation. The governor. The campaign is over. This is not the time to campaign again. The governor should wake up from the folio of campaign and move to work. He's a sitting governor. He's going to be sworn in the next couple of weeks. So he must have his agenda and forget the campaign. This is not campaign.
So there will be very little distraction. There's no distraction of handing over
to anybody. He's handing over to himself.
Exactly.
So there's no need to campaign. If you know that the governor can perform, this is not about speaking too much grammar. It should come out with a blueprint, hit the ground running, ensure that it pays the minimum wage to the state, ensure it fertilizes all the project that is ongoing. It should commence it. I listened to him this morning, the governor, His Excellency. He said about deep sea port. He should focus on low-hanging fruit for the good people of Ondo State, who has shown him tremendous love by voting across the 18 local government. He should ensure that he put food on their table, school fees and the rest of them. So these are the issues. This is not campaign season again that the governor can do this. It should move to this. It should move to the field.
And the fact that he did sweep all of the 18 local government councils, that's a remarkable event. We'll come back to it. Mazi Okoroafo has come on the line. Mazi from Arochukwu, good morning.
Good morning, Sayuru. Well, Sayuru, first of all, let me congratulate the governor for the last slide.
Sure.
When you look at the gap is too much. To me, I would suggest that the other opposition parties, I will advise them, let them keep their money instead of going to court. Because going to court, at least, when you look at the gap is too much.
That is 366,000 to 117,000. It's a major gap.
What I want the governor to do is that, you see, all the local governments visited, all the communities and even international relatives visited, he presented issues. That is the package. That is the roadmap, what he has in stock. I will advise him now that this is returning completed. All those things issues, step from step 1 to the last, within the 4 years that the justice system. That will give the credibility for the APC in that case. Because the situation whereby second tenor, you just come back and direct. It doesn't make sense. That is what we normally face when governors come on board now. They would like to do anything opposite. Even the worker salary is very, very important. Very, 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 very important because everybody that came out on their own is simple. People agree that there was a Ulster party, there was all this money issue that which many people that they go and mortgage because that was bad. But the question is that whatever the governor must have promised the people, all the communities that you should do, that is the only solution. Because for us to move forward in this country, for us to do what? Complete the cycle of what you have told the people, the promise. That is why when people say, I'm talking about Trump. I talk about Trump because Trump will say, this is what he's going to do. And he will do it.
All right.
So as the governor says he's going to do it, let him do what? Do it. Good morning, Master Cup of Power. Congratulations to the government.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Mr. Tamurokuro, 18, yes, he cleared all of the 18, local councils. That's a remarkable feat. Even as we are complaining that, the turnout was, relatively low, but even at that, there still was this pattern that among the so-called low turnout, the governor was still more than, more than doubled that of the next contestant. That would seem to, at least going by statistics, that would indicate that most people thought that the incumbent governor, now the governor designate, he actually can deliver. What would you say about the fact that he beat the very next contestant, by scoring more than half of his vote?
The guest in the studio is putting up stories that are not true. I believe that when he was introducing himself and he said he observed the election far well and none of that. So the people of Ondo State understand that since the inception of the governor, when he was sworn in as governor of the state, has delivered a lot for the people of Ondo State. There is no yardstick saying that he should kick the ground running. Like the governor said yesterday on Channels TV, he said there are structures already in place, that you cannot change a political structure that has been placed. Like you have ministry at every sector in the government. The only thing that the governor, he said he would do is to ensure that he better those ministries and all of that. So on those state people understand and they knew that the governor has been working for them for the past 10 months. So regarding all what he's saying, he needs to understand that the governor has his blueprints, he knows what to do, and he's been working for the people of Ondo. That's the reason why he was elected. So there is no yard saying that he does not have what it takes to lead the people of Ondo State. That is not fair on the side of the governor.
Oh, all right then. Okay, I tell you what, gentlemen, we'll take a quick break now. Do please stay with us. We'll be right back. We'll continue to this conversation in studio and also take calls as they come from our viewership in the diaspora and those who have called off our YouTube channel. Thank you to Mr. George who called in first. He was calling off our YouTube channel. So please do that if you are not able to receive us over our terrestrial station. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
There is always more to a story than the screaming headline. The part of a story that is not told casts a shadow. It's like the part of an object that is not reached by light. On TVC News, I'm able to explore the many angles there are to a story, talking to stakeholders, asking the difficult questions, and digging for facts. I believe the viewers are able to make a better decision if they're well informed and understand not just a part, but the complete story. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Okay, welcome back. Our guests are in place. Dr. Ibrahim Oshinawa in studio, political affairs analyst, Mr. Belele David Tamurokuro, DG Coalition of Progressive Ambassadors. He is reaching us remotely from Ondo State itself. The election is done. The incumbent governor, he has won, and he battled Honorable Ajayi of the PDP. Olorunfemi Festus of Labour Party, and Abbas Mimiko of Zenith Labour Party, among others, in the election on Saturday. There were 17 parties that participated in that election. So, Dr. Shinawa, the governor is in a good place, by which I mean that it's a cool continuum for him. You know, other governors or other kind of contestants might have had a difficulty in terms of whether or not they'll be able to continue their programs. But clearly, the programs that he was running already, he'll be able to continue those. But as has been said, well, he has just one more term, right? He can't do more than one more term.
That is still under contention. I'm sure you know that. I'm sure you know that.
Seeing that he completed one person's term, and that hasn't really been tested
I can tell you,
on our political horizon.
All these people, when you are elected as a governor, I've served in different capacities, so I know how it works. When you are elected as a governor, you see a lot of people running around you, with different advice. You are tall as the sky. You are the this and the that. I can tell you, we'll sit here and you say, are you aware we discussed it? The governor will recontest. Maybe when it gets to the Supreme Court and the law is, you will see, just give and take 2 years.
Okay.
You see some circumstance around him establishing a correlation for this in this, establishing for second term, and you will see so many theories.
So you are looking at the situation from the point of view of that. This is Aiyedatiwa's first term.
This is the first term
of Aiyedatiwa.
Governor Aiyedatiwa, I'm sure
even though he was a part of the term of the.
He's just starting his first term.
Oh dear!
Right now, once in a couple of weeks is inaugurated, then you will see the theory. We'll be here. We'll be, at least I will call you.
Okay. What do you what do you think about that, Belele? What do you think about that particular point, Belele David Tamurokro? What do you think about that particular point?
But I believe that the leadership or responsibility that is given to His Excellency Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa is to govern the affairs of the state for 4 years. If the need be that the government is going to recontest, that is not within my purview to answer. So when we get to the river, the Excellency himself will respond to that. But at the moment, we are focused on delivering dividend of democracy to the good people of Ondo State.
Okay. Well, it came up at all, as you might imagine, because there's a difference perhaps in the stance of, well, can one really properly refer to it as a lame duck incumbent, in the sense that he knows he has just 4 more years, as opposed to a person who is starting and knows that all other things being equal, and if the electorate are in agreement, he has 8 years ahead of him, Oh dear. Okay, so we'll quickly switch back to studio.
Okay.
But I take the point that you made. So, but again, taking some wisdom from Tamino Okuro there, this is the term that matters, in that he has just won this one. By all accounts, he won. I don't think there's much profit. Well, I guess there are.
Can I come in again?
Not now, sir. You just walked off camera for whatever reason. You actually walked off camera. Okay, I'll come back to you.
Let me quickly make this contribution.
We'll come back to you. Please be patient. We'll come back to you.
Okay. Politics is sometimes, you just sit in a corner and you laugh. And I would just encourage Governor Aiyedatiwa. I'm addressing him directly. He should focus and dish out a lofty, low-hanging fruit program to good people of Ondo State. Campaign is over.
When you've said that about, this is the second time you're.
I know what I'm talking about. I listen.
There are things that can easily be achieved that are yet to be achieved.
Yeah, not deep sea port.
Okay.
Not deep sea port. I've got 1 or 2 of his allies. What is the governor saying? You have a very big mandate, at hand. You are talking about deep sea port. Initiate. The only state, I think 1 or 2 states that has not, implement the national minimum wage. Ondo is one of them.
Okay.
Pay the civil servant. Pay bonuses. Retirees. Appreciate them. There are areas that doesn't have, good network of roads. Go into the rural communities. Open up those access. Come inward. Look at education. Yes, it's doing its best in building good schools, intensify those things, primary education, free education for children of Ondo indigenes and the rest of them. Those are the frontal issue that you need to address.
And they can be more easily achieved than other programs.
Nobody is disturbing you. I listen to one of the people saying that somebody wants to impeach him sometimes and they want to remove him from office. I want the governor to ignore all those rhetorics. That is over.
All right.
Politics is over. Okay. Governance now.
Okay.
You are handing over to yourself. Nobody is disturbing you.
Okay, Mr. Tamaro Crow, please don't walk off camera again. Yeah. That was very surprising. In fact, it's almost like a first. It's almost like a first in broadcasting locally here, that a person will walk off camera and there was no annoyance. I don't know what, but welcome back. So what do you think about, the concept of what he should be concentrating on now? You've heard Dr. Oshinowo speak of low-hanging fruits as opposed to more, let me not use the word elephant project, but you know what I mean. There are some low-hanging fruits. First of all, do you agree?
Well, I want to say this. I'm not really happy that I'm not seeing the studio at the moment. And I believe that the guest in the house, which is Dr. Oshinowo, he doesn't know how governance operates. He's not in Ondo State. He alleges the governor that he needs to implement the minimum wages and ensuring that he pay retirees. In Ondo State, the federal government or the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the federal government approved a minimum wage of 70,000 naira. The governor in his flag off campaign, he announced that he's going to pay 73,000 naira, which starting from next month, civil servants in the state will get their salary with the new minimum wages that has been approved by the government. And even though concerning the retirees in the state, retirees that have not been paid over the years, when this government came in on board, he ensured that he paid 3.2 billion naira to the sector that has been abandoned for over the years. He doesn't have a vital information regarding Ondo State politics. He doesn't know what the governor is doing for the people of Ondo State. He needs to come to Ondo State to see what the governor is doing within a short period of time, what he has done for the people of Ondo State. That's the reason why he was elected. So what he said in the story is far from the truth. He does not know what the government is giving to the people from those states. He needs to come to those states to see what the government is doing for the people. The government is loved by the people. He does not need to go be in Lagos State and be castigating the governor as if he's not working for the people of Ondo State.
Okay. No, well, please, I don't think he has said that, but let him speak for himself.
Okay.
But not for us to spend too much time.
No, I won't spend too much. Tamono, you said I'm new to governance. I'll ask Kayode Ajulo, your Attorney General, who I am. Ask Honorable Benga Elegbeleye, Tamora, who I am. Ask the Aketi people who I am. I'm sure you are just coming in and the level I have served in this country. Maybe you should find out presently from Senator Jumoke, the late Senator Jumoke, and Senator Borofield. You will know the level I have served. What I am saying to you is that campaign is over. I understand what you are doing. It's good. I've done that before. Establishing the ground for my governor. It's good. It's allowed. But what we are trying to point out here is to let the governor know that campaign is over. He should focus on low hanging. Governor Aiyedatiwa is a fantastic gentleman, great guy. But we want him to be better. We want him to do well. So what you are doing, I've done it almost 20 years ago. So it's good.
Let's not make
but
it personal.
I'm just don't make it personal with me. Okay. I'm telling you, this is a low-hanging fruit so that the governor's activities can show. Okay. It doesn't mean when he's not doing the right thing, I will not talk. He's watching us. We'll tell him.
Okay. Look, thank you very much for keeping it that brief. And I do want us to keep it away from personal, because you both gentlemen have already agreed that the election is over and it's now all about delivering to the people, because that's the most important thing. The reason the governor is there is not for himself, it's for the good people on those states and indeed improving the quality of their life. Mr. Belele, David Tamora Kuro, what do you what is your idea of the things the governor, well, you know what I mean, the new government, because it is a fresh one, the old government that is going to get a fillip, what is the thing that they should be concentrating on now?
Thank you very much. The new government in power, to my best of my ability, it will ensure that it bring the good governance to the people of Ondo State. You know, you believe that Ondo State is a civil servant state, where 60% of the workers of the allocation that is coming goes into paying the civil servants in the state, and which I believe that the governor will continue in that legacy, ensuring the civil servant gets their payment. And also, he talked about on the issue of education, which I believe it will work on the tertiary institutions, the primary health, primary schools and secondary schools were given a new face. And also on the issue of agriculture, which he said this government is providing fertilizer to farmers to ensure that there is a food, there is food available for everybody in the state, and also is trying as much as possible to boost the economy of the state. We expect him to do a lot, which I believe he will deliver on the promises he made to the people of Ondo States in due time.
You know, of course, there's the deputy governor-elect. You know, actually, naturally, the elections like this, of course, the principal is the governor, so he gets all the mention. But you see the deputy governor-elect as an asset?
Yeah, I don't, you know, he's from Owo. I don't really know much about him.
Okay.
I just remember that he has worked at the National Assembly back in the days, but I can't remember his achievements after that and his capacity. I believe the governor can make him functional.
That's why.
By giving him so much, you know, activities. But the governors, you know, they are scared. Once you upgrade your deputy too much, you know, it becomes, you know, someone. But I believe Governor Aiyedatiwa, you know, can look inward and make use of the gentleman and, you know, give him a lot of. Primary education is there. You know, rural farming development is there.
You know, we don't even know that they don't have a great relationship. Let me ask Mr. Tamno Kuro about this. You heard the point I made that usually the principal, the governor, gets all the attention. Indeed, he is the principal. But the governor, the deputy governor-elect, he's an asset?
Say what?
The deputy, the deputy, the running mate, he is an asset to, is that what you would consider him as? He doesn't get much mention, although he's an important and integral part of the winning team.
Well, actually, the deputy governor-elect is an asset to the governor of Ondo State. He cannot function without his deputy governor. And you can see that most of the time, if the governor is unable to do one or two things, he sent the deputy governor to represent him and all of that. This governor has not handicapped his deputy governor. Is functioning in different capacities to ensure that Ondo State work, Ondo State move fast, and is giving him all opportunity to ensure that he perform his duty as deputy governor of the state. He has not been able to handicap him. There is no rancor anywhere within them, and I believe he's not a governor that will handicap his deputy governor the way other governors have done in the time past. So,
indeed, that's good to hear. So it looks like Mr. President, has already congratulated the APC in Ondo State. He's congratulated them. The president has made much of the fact that it was a peaceful election. But look, in terms of, since both of you are commentators, both of you are stakeholders, both of you have been following the election, I wonder what, when we look at it thoroughly, do you think that talk that we heard, we're just looking at other matters around the whole election, there was some talk about money playing a role. And the point was made to us, especially by other observers, IAGA Africa and other stakeholders and observers of the election had said that no party could claim innocence from this particular phenomenon, that all parties were involved one way or the other. How important would you say that was, Mr. Tamanokuro? How important an incident was that? Because, it does cast something of a negative light on any election if it is said that money, although our people have also said that, unfortunately, in any election in this country, they have argued contentiously that you can expect some form of it. What was your observation about the role of money in this election?
Well, actually, thank you very much. I voted in the Rivera area, which is the most abandoned part of the state, and I believe that I was there on Friday, and on Saturday I voted in my polling unit, and I did not see any voter inducement, and I do not have the idea if voters were induced to vote. In my polling unit, there was nothing of such, and I can't give information what I'm not privy to and all of that. But I believe last in the election, there was not a record that votes were bought by the ruling party of the state. But I believe I saw a video on social media where a man was arrested with 2 bags of money, which I think belongs to the People's Democratic Party and all of that, which I can't confirm the information at the moment and all of that. So to me, I did not witness anything of such, and I did not have information who bought votes, who did not buy votes. Election was peaceful, and the people casted their votes, and they spoken through the ballot box, and winner has emerged. Like my guest, my opponent said in the studio, it is time for governance. So we are focusing on good governance, delivering what the people voted for the governor for, and definitely it's going to deliver on its promises. Okay.
All right, then. Okay, we've established, because I wanted to bring, the deputy governor-elect, Olaide Adelami. I wanted to bring him into the conversation as well, because it's a combined team.
Yes, and, joint ticket.
It's a joint ticket, and it's a very, very important, part of the whole process. Because, look, it is known politically that the deputy, whether it is the president, whether it is the governor, must be good enough to actually take over governance should there be a need. Naturally, we don't, nobody prays for there to be an unexpected need, but arrangements must be made. And so Mr. Olaide Adelami needs to be congratulated too, alongside his principal, and he seems to be a reticent kind of a fellow, in the sense that not very much has been heard of him, from him. But he did win. He did deliver his word, So that's also, it shows that he is no slouch himself.
Yeah, I think the gentleman is a wise man.
Yes.
Because, in this part of the world,
that is
Mr.
Deputy Governor,
His Excellency,
Olaide Adelami.
He's a wise man, and he's a thoroughbred civil servant. He knows the integrity, the nitty-gritty of loyalty. Mm-hmm. Never outshine your boss. Rules of power.
Going back to the rules of power.
So you must stay silent. You must, if you want to enjoy yourself, if you want to have a free day, if you want your office to be activated and bubbling, if you want to be relevant in the scheme of things, you must stay silent.
But
functional.
But he's a winner as well.
Of course, absolutely, he's a winner.
Just as we're talking about,
he's a winner.
Exactly.
He's a winner. So he doesn't want to be. He's learning from other deputy governors who are having a tough time. The best deputy governor you could have, for instance, is in Lagos, Deputy Governor Dr. Quadri Amzat, fantastic guy, just doing his own thing and understand that this is not my time, it's my boss, I have to follow him. And if you look at Ogun State too, so you have some deputy governors who knows their boundary, and I think the gentleman is learning very fast. That no, it's my boss, so don't congratulate me.
Okay, well.
Shout.
Well, we will congratulate the team. The winning team of, Governor Aiyedatiwa, and he could not run alone. So it's Aiyedatiwa and Olaide Adelami.
Yes, congratulations to both of them.
To both of them.
And we wish them all the best.
Indeed, we
do.
Indeed.
Successful time in office.
Indeed.
And, we expect them, to meet the Yanis and, the good people from Ondo State. I congratulate Bola Ilori, my dear friend and brother, Kayode Ajulo, all of them. They worked tirelessly, for this victory. So,
okay. Now, final closing words from you, sir. Belele David Tamura Okuro.
Well, I want to use the opportunity to appreciate the leadership of Coalition of Progressive Ambassador for touring around the 18 local governments with His Excellency to deliver on his mandate and all of that. I also want to thank the people of Ondo State for trusting His Excellency and all of that. So we pray that
we're going to have to make it brief. We're going to have to leave it quite briefly. Thank you very, very much, gentlemen, both of you. Dr. Ibrahim Ojinawo, Political Affairs Analyst, and Belele David Tamaro Kuro, DG of the Coalition of Progressive Ambassadors in Ondo State. Thank you both, gentlemen, for coming on the program this morning. So that's our program today. Do please join us, tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folarin. Bye-bye for now.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment.